And ladies and gentlemen, we welcome back here on P3's TV Live here now. We are at Brooklyn, Michigan's Michigan International Speedway as we're about to present to you the Venomcast 160 presented by JKay Gaming here on P3 Racing TV. Hi everyone, I'm the Crusader Chris Stride joining you guys here today as we get ready for our race today here currently under the warm-up session time here as our field gets squared back onto the track and squared up into the playing field. Qualifying has concluded, setting our time and our fastest drivers out on the track here at Michigan International Speedway. So without further ado, let's take a look at our qualifying results here. Jan Van Leer literally taking this one straight out of the hole and getting a great job out of the gate. Jan will definitely have himself quite a handful with Jeff Langston, Michael Krall, and Tristan Underwood and Will Salamone in there. But of course, Ryan Pittman as well, and Carson Mitchell, John Kay, Kyle Zittel, and Rodney Roberts also playing into this field, into this battle here. So it'll be an interesting little kick up here. And again, to the Venom Truck Series boys, I know I've already probably messed up on a few of your names here, so feel free to come at me for it. I do not blame you, nor will I criticize you for it. So there's honestly, there's so many names out there anymore. It's hard to keep track of all who is who. So. Field right now getting set to go here, up on the pace, back on the position. And if you guys are wondering at home, like, why are we not on Facebook? Let me give you guys a little insight right now here on the studio end. Unfortunately, there is some kind of setting that was not updated with Facebook via one of our streaming services. So in order to minimize the troubles and minimize problems, we did not want this race to not go live and have problems that way. So we wanted to make sure the fans and everyone at home got a fair shake and got a fair race. And that is why we ended up actually moving the stream over to here right now. So again, we do really apologize for everyone not having the stream up on Facebook like we originally planned, but not much I can really do about it other than that. So. Salamone outside, man. I already messed up on Salamone's name. And I'm pretty sure Jan Van Leer is the other way around. So it looks like actually I made some mistakes earlier here, and it looks like I'm going to have to get a little bit better about it. But nevertheless, warm-ups are now clearing up on the track here, race fans. We're getting ready to go here and set for the position. Well, you heard it now live, race fans here. The field is getting set to go, and it's time to take a look at our gridding order for today's action here in Brooklyn, Michigan for the Venomcast 160 presented by JKay Gaming. We mentioned a minute ago, Jan Van Leer will be in the number 5. It is outside, will be number 21, Jeff Langston. For number 2, it's going to be Michael Krall, and the 11 is outside Tristan Underwood in the 90. Will Salamone will be piloting it down in the 99, and is outside Ryan Pittman in the 08. Row number 4 is Carson Mitchell, and the 4 is outside John Kay in the big 2. Row number 5 sees Kyle Zittel in, Kyle Zittel in the number 53 is outside as Rodney Roberts in the 28. Row number 6 is Stephen Durham in the 87s outside Jeremy McKinnon in the number 12. And row number 7 then we'll see that is piloted down by Garrett Rainey in the 17s outside Brantley Gainey Jr. in the 22. And row number 8 is going to be Paul in the 55s outside the 26 is Eric Breeding. Row 9 is Michael Dean, the 73 is outside is the 76 of Pascal Simard Pace. And row number 10 is going to be Kyle Dumick. In the number 18s outside is Jacques Maxwell in the 8. Corey Rutherford will be piloting in row 11 with the 50. Is outside is Sam Dunaway in the 6-7. David Fay in the 88 is outside. It is Craig Roberts piloting it down in the final starter with the number 3. And race fans, our field is set for the action. So our field now getting set to go for the action in hand, ready to bring up the speed, bring up to par, and the drivers know this all too well. We'll fire them on down and around the track here, get them all squared up in position here. And again, I feel like I'm saying the Five's wrong, last name wrong. So here we go now, race fans. Line them off down across the track, into the playing field, looking for the green flag, high in the air, wave straight down, 80 laps to the distance. The Venomcast 160 is underway. Here we go now down the first skid head. Jan Van Leer in the 5 takes early advantage of Jeff Langston will kick the second place spot as Michael Kroll in the number 11 cuts right through the field. Back down off the back straightaway though, everyone are charging their way around. Ryan Pittman in 08 now trying to muscle the 08 ahead there as number 2 of JKay goes down low with them trying to take down that Longhorn. Will Salamoni in the 99. Salamoni trying to hold down the lane, trying to hold down his fight here, trying to see if maybe there's some grip there. Seems to be hitting it up. But Bamacat saying, get it, Hot Rod. Good to have you on board here, Bamacat. Not sure which one is Hot Rod out here, but I'm assuming might have something to do with maybe this Alabama boy right here. Maybe Roddy Roberts, maybe? I don't know. You let me know down in the comment section who is the Hot Rod here today. Let me down on the back straightaway though. Everyone trying to muscle and pace their way around the track. Inside, we might have a technical difficulty screen come up. Give us one moment here, folks. Okay, that's it. I've had enough of this freaking internet bullshit today. Fuck you. Alright. So, race fans, I'm just going to let you know now, we had a little technical difficulty on our end here, and unfortunately, it looks like we actually lost coverage because it is so hot down here in Michigan, it actually just fried my service internet here. So, again, we are still live, I believe. We're still going to get you guys into the show. Just give us one moment here as we're currently working on stuff here, so we'll be right back.
The finish line. Check the radio. Pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing.
Alright, folks, so do not fear, do not be alarmed. We are returning back to the show right now here in about 2 minutes or so. Just give us a sec. I do appreciate you guys tuning in as well. Share the stream around, get some views on this, and let them know to subscribe here to P3's TV as we're about to showcase back the Venom Truck Series, Venomcast 160 here at Michigan International Speedway. Presented by our friends at JKay Gaming. Field right now is currently still on the track, on the race circuit, racing it out as we're about to head back into the show. About our 5 seconds here. There we go. We got it up. Alright, our apologies there, race fans here. We do really appreciate you guys hanging with us here. Well, looks like we only lost about 5 laps in this one, so should be okay. Still a lot of hard racing back down on the track, though. Let's get back to it here as we field them down off the edges here onto the back straightaway. Field moving their way around in position here, continuing to go through. And then again, you see once again that little factor of Michigan International Speedway, the pack racing being fully present and fully accounted for here. As you see Paul Wilson, the 55 kind of mixed in between there with the 28 of Rodney Roberts and Michael Dean, the 73 coming up with them, as well as Brantley Gainey Jr. trying to hang with these guys. This is that one thing you're going to always see a lot of here in this kind of track, this kind of style with a 550 horsepower package, is because the track is so big, you literally have to kind of march down to the beat of your own drum and have to actually find speed late or speed early in the run if you want any chance. And by the way, that's just iRacing updating the files there on the trucks. Trying to hold on though. There's not a lot of room to pass and a lot of room to openings when you don't have anywhere to go and shoot for them. That's why these guys are currently trying to fight their way around the track, trying to find anything they can. Back them down off around turn number 1 and 2. Langston is your new leader. Jan Van Leer giving the 5 up to the race lead. Ends up giving the 21 Langston a chance to steal this one away from him. Langston last time out put on a show, put on a battle down there at Iowa Speedway. Coming away with the race win and a solid performance there to say the least. Jan trying to get back at this one and take this one over. Coming up to the closing, yellow flag out here. We got a problem down there. Looks like something gone wrong up ahead. I'm not sure what exactly transpired, but we do have a caution out. Trying to see if anyone was involved. Looks like Sam Dunaway's slowing down tremendously here. I think he might have had something to do with it. I'm not totally sure. We'll go to the PT Mr. Replay. Take a look at the PTMS replay and see exactly what transpired here. It looked like there was a lot of motion up front. Trying to see if we can see exactly where it came from or what exactly transpired. And I think I might have found it here. It looks like Garrett Rainey actually found himself in a little bit of a pickle here. Let's take a look at the chopper cam here. Here is the chopper cam here on PTMS TV with the PTMS TV instant replay. Looked like he got kind of throttled in the middle there and then got kind of cornered off. And you can see Rainey gets pounded there. It looked like that was by the 50. And I think it was the 50 that actually kind of started that whole mess. It was Taylor Underwood. It was 90 actually, Tristan Underwood, excuse me, that had gotten this spot thrown in here. Let's take one more look at it from the onboard camera. See right there, just clipped up. The other driver got right into him, and then the pride of Alabama there, Rainey, I believe, just got sent packing around and just taken for a bit of a ride. Unfortunately, no big deal though. He'll be all right. Now the drivers do have a zero instant repair philosophy, so these drivers are going to have to work with themselves as well as others here. They want a chance to really come back in this one. Sorry for the technical difficulty screens, folks. We're just trying to make sure these streams get put back to normal position. Believe me, I'm still pretty annoyed as you guys are with not being able to get to Facebook, and now all of a sudden our internet service here just completely goes shut down on us. But for those that are still tuned in with us and taking the time to talk with us here, we really do appreciate you guys. So. Drivers right now currently getting put back off from pit road. Kyle Zittel stayed on out, so he'll actually take full control of this here. Or excuse me, did not go. He actually did not stay out. He actually only went into pit road for about a stint of 37 seconds here. His pit time was about 7.35, so he actually just went in there and took some fuel, looks like, and maybe a right side of the tires. That's an interesting strategy here, but it makes you kind of question, is it going to be a good long-term service background for this truck and as well as for this race, considering what he's got up at stake and what he has to deal with. Jan Van Leer here in the number 5 will get himself squared up again. So Van Leer getting ready to put it back up with Zittel there up in the front. Pascal Simard pace here also up in this fight into this fray. Now moving up 7 spots, excuse me, 6, 7-ish, moving into row 6. Michael Dean, or 6 spots up for him as well, so he's in this battle. Greg Roberts, the hard charger of the award so far, going to him in that number 3, as he's currently moved 10 spots up so far in this field. But he's got a long, long road ahead of him if he wants any chance to bring it home. Van Leer, the OxyClean 5, going to deal with that quick trip. Life is good. 53. Kyle Zittel. It's a Chevy versus Toyota battle up front with the Fords mixed in the middle of it. Here we go now. Bring him down around off of turn number 3, down in turn number 4. We'll bring him back to the line, back to the start. The field is now paced and ready for this one to throw down once again off our corner number 4. Back to the green flag. We wave. We're off and running again. Carson Mitchell, number 4 here, moving up on the outside bankment here. Looks like he wants to try to find some extra speed up there. The bottom lane is generally where you're going to find most of these drivers getting all the speed and run they need. The bottom lane is where you shorten the track out the most, and where you get the most speed and obligation to really hit up from. And that's where a lot of guys are going to try to stick to and kind of keep their close eye on in proximity. But look a little later on though, and you may see drivers going towards topside. For one thing, they're trying to minimize how much turning they're doing on the trucks, trying to save tires as much as possible. But that also opens up the doors for doing moves like this. 3 wide salute entering in turn 1 and 2, and you've got a 5-truck battle for that second place spot as Langston just full sends it around all of them, taking the race lead once again. JKay, Carson Mitchell trying to hunt him down. Dealing with that one of our lone Canadians though, Jerry McKinnon moving in the middle. Down to the bottom lane he goes, and the 12 driver now has fired up some speeds and fired on some shots, trying to take full control. A 3 wide salute in the middle of the pack. Kay does not want to be where he's at, neither does Mitchell. They know what happens when you're stuck in that line, you're stuck in that spot. It can be a bad omen. Kay will falter back, backs off the corner, down into turn 2. We'll straighten it back on the back straightaway. Oh, he's going for the slingshot move here, coming off down the back stretch now. Look at this. Under the 3 wide attempt, looking for the slingshot. Couldn't clear it. Oh, but there's another driver that couldn't get cleared either. Michael Krall. And the 11th slammed in the middle. The 55 of Paul Ellison clipped with him. Yellow is out. Yellow flag is out for both drivers, unfortunately coming to a wreck. Krall looked like he might have gotten turned entering into turn 3 there. Had no room to go and had nowhere to hide. Unfortunately ends up in the mix and in the worst luck possible for him and that crew. On our look at it. And it looked like got slapped bad right in the middle there, kind of taken up for a right. Krall looked like he was trying to enter into the corner at a distant pace, but he forgot that what happened on that last little bit also kind of got everyone else in trouble, and that was certainly the case here. One more look at it from the onboard camera. You can just tell that look of disappointment in his face right there. I realized he made a bit of a mistake there. Spotter obviously was trying to help him out as much as he can, telling him he is there, but you know, the thing is, as a driver, there's some things you just can't control. One thing is really just the mindset you have as a performer. You don't want to give that spot up, nor do you want to give up the line to anybody and everyone, and that's exactly what happened there. Field of drivers heading into pit road right now. They'll get them put back in the positions and right on their spots. Looking to damage up some cleanup jobs on those trucks and on those vehicles. We're all going to have a lot of work to do on that left side and a little on the right. Took a good hit on both ends there. No instant repairs either. It means time is not on his side, as your field will bring it right back out on the track and get squared back up into position. Looking to get full send on here. We'll see what the drivers have at stake and what they have in store as this race continues on. Alright, one more time by race fans as the field gets squared back up into position, back in pace and in momentum territory. We'll see what the drivers have at stake and what they have on the lineup here as we continue to drive off in this one. Langston, McKinnon will go at it here now. Langston, your race leader, and remember Langston pretty much kind of went into pit road about the same time everybody else had done, and he went in at lap 11. But now he's going to have some company coming up from behind and in the back trying to keep up with him and keep up the distance. Going to be interesting to see if he can survive and conquer where everyone else will try to strive and take him down. Off the corner, turn number 4. Lights back on. Green flag's out. We're back underway. Michael Crawl, Paul Ellison, Michael Dean out of the race right now. Eric Breeding, troubles earlier on. We saw him before we actually had a little trouble on our end here. The Glitchcrafter Gremlin striking everybody and in turn taking everyone for a bit of a ride here at Michigan. With a pack like this too, it's extremely difficult to make runs and make moves. But you absolutely need to, and these drivers need to start controlling their narrative before it gets too little too late. And Rutherford in the number 50, Corey is trying to move up the chain to move the Kellogg's number 50 into the position. He says they're right as he moves right onto the bottom lane, taking it to Will Salamone. Salamone in the 99 right off the top side of him, trying to hold the Longhorn Chevrolet Silverado ahead. The Venom boys right now hard on the charge. Oh, a little trouble there off of turn number 2. A little backhand there from the 99 to the 50. Rutherford getting flipped up just a slight bit there. The 87 out. Stephen Durham moving in the chains, looking for position. Track position, track momentum definitely becoming a factor here. Give it a little bit more of a troublesome spot. Down on the edge here, off the track here in corner number 4. Everybody moving in pace, moving in position. You can see now the 90 of Tristan Underwood trying to make a bit of a comeback here. That's Kyle Dumick and Zittel here working their way behind. Remember, both drivers have a fresher set of tires and a little bit more speed under their grip because of that. At the end of this race, we will have an interview with the top 5 drivers as well. That will hopefully give the guys something to kind of make up for, and we'll also hopefully make up for the fans out there for, unfortunately, our few laps we had lost here on the track. So we do appreciate those that are still tuned in. Hopefully you guys can share this around still for us and let the fans know we're still racing, we're still going. Down on the back straightaway, though, the number 2, JKay, moving up into the fight with Jeremy McKinnon in the number 12. McKinnon up top side, trying to put the Savage Arms, number 12 F-150. Up ahead of that number 2, and JKay not able to hold him back. Langston moving into the fight, into the fray as well, coming for both ends of the spectrum. Bubbling back around right now here. Pittman looking to try to get this iRacing 08 machine up ahead as he continues to fight off with Jan Van Leer in the OxyClean 5. Mitchell, Langston, and Kay still dealing with McKinnon up front though for your racing team. In the back of the pack though, it's a war zone out here as currently the 76 of Pascal Simard is now moving the pace, now moving him in with the pace. Pascal Simard pace here, trying to get something going here on Kyle Zittel and Kyle Dumick here. Stephen Durham working right up ahead of him by about a full 2 seconds, but for how long that'll stand, I would not want to be him right about now. That's all I'm going to say. Might not last very much longer. Josh Maxwell in the number 8 now dealing with as well. Some company to his bottom end. Add another 8, you get the 88. Who is that? That's David Fay in the big 88 machine. Trying to get up to the bottom and trying to squeeze the life out of the 8s. Maxwell speed, trying to get the aeroflow to work around that back spoiler and get some serious momentum around. They looking to try to keep up with the teammates and trying to prove something here today after all the troubles they've had these last couple weeks. They've had good showings at Daytona, but this unfortunately has not been the case here since Dover and Iowa. And here in Michigan, it's now from the short tracks to the much bigger track again. And it really seems like this style of racing isn't quite what they were up to or what they were up for really hanging on with. It seems to be kind of holding true and holding still, but how long will that last remains to be unknown. A lot of crossing over, though, up front here as Pascal Simard just completely dive dashes around the number 18, Kyle Dumick. Dumick blocked in the bumper. Now has to give him either the push and shove or run this one around. That's up to him here. The number 18 back to the bottom, looking for the shards, looking for the ride around, hangs in there, looking for it. Can't quite clear him. Holds on though. Number 22, Brantley Gainey Jr. here, also looking to get around off of Kyle Zittel here. Zittel holding up the quick trip speeds of the 53. He's looking to get back to that front half of the pack where he was earlier on. Simard right now right in the mix of it though, mixing it with the 22, Gainey Jr. Everybody moving the chains and trying to strive and conquer as much as they can here. Meanwhile, up front, top 5 back at it. Langston trying to go back to back here on Pizza Race TV. Very few drivers have been able to accomplish it. Very few can stand in that elite club. And there are extremely few that have won more than even 3 races in a row. 2 is hard enough. 3 is nearly impossible with the kind of competition levels usually we see on the show. And JKay in the 2 just figured out that the hard way. DeFazio, number 2 F-150. And a little wall protection and smack dab there. Lost all his speed. Took a huge hit. DeFazio, number 2, is going to have some work to do here when he gets into pit road. Now look at this, moving straight from the bottom, huge cut of the corner. The 99, Will Salamoni moving the Longhorn up into the fray. Now it's time for the Chevrolets to go to work. Mix up there in turn number 3 and 4. The 58 Corey Rutherford slows in the rear end out underneath him. Lost a lot of speed and ground from just doing that, and that's going to cost him big time. He knows he needs to stay focused here and watch himself in the corners. Rutherford put back in the pack here. He's slowing down tremendously yet again here, so it looks like his day might be coming to a bit of a troublesome end here if he can't get this thing dialed up past the halfway point. Langston on the bottom lane. McKinnon trying to squeeze some speed up there with the airflow around the truck. The airflow kind of cornering back off of the spoiler camp. Just trying to get this thing to run and dash as hard as he can and hope for the best here. The whole laundry list of drivers on the lineup, though, beyond belief. It's pretty crazy to see how just there is so much momentum and so much control over themselves and the race that's here. You know, Carson Mitchell, he's been in that top 5 for quite a while here and hasn't really had too much problems when it comes to staying in control and in this position. But for guys like Kyle Dumick here, who you'd think honestly would have had a little bit more of a process to get up into this position, he has actually worked quite a bit of the speed, worked quite a bit of pit road strategy, and kind of laid back for a while. Now it seems like everything just kind of full sending on and kind of working its way up front. It's looking pretty solid, looking pretty clean, or cut and pretty clean here for him, but he knows that's only half of the battle. The rest of the battle is all about him just continuing to dip in deep and look for everything he can. Up front right now here, lap traffic is now going to become a factor here. Rodney Robertson, the 28, being hunted down by Langston, McKinnon, and Mitchell here. All three drivers here still in the neck of the woods, still in the neck of the battle here, but right in the mix of the middle pack here as well. We're seeing quite a lot of movement coming from Salamoni, Pittman, Zittel, and Pace. As Jan Van Leer faltering further and further back in that 5. Stephen Durham now moving up in the 87. He's moved into 4th. Van Leer, man, I'm really not sure if he is just not getting this insert coin OxyClean number 5 to strive as much as he was hoping for, or how he wanted to set the field up, because he was your #1 qualifier. But right now, to me, it almost seems like he got most of his speed from qualifying and is struggling to maintain pace here in the main race itself. Now, I'm only saying that just on looks-wise alone, but again, he looks like he could still, in theory, have a chance to really come back with a little bit of a pit stop advantage, a little bit of a pit grab. He just needs to hope that that caution doesn't come out and he can get a long green flag running. Then he can really use his wits and use his timing to take down Langston, Mitchell, McKinnon, and Durham and Pittman if he really needs to. But Zittel and them also, they're moving in and making things a lot more difficult for that driver, more than I think he realizes. Kyle Zittel in the 53 moving up ahead here. Salamoni right now in the back of the pack, coming up from the front, coming up to the middle. Looking to try to secure some spots and secure some runs in the top end, though. Almost 3 wide, slid it right off of turn 2. And the biggest problem about turn 2, I'll tell you guys right now, well, turn 2 has this little flat end spot where you're going from a progressive end to the literally flat ended middle backstretch. And that spot really makes things a whole lot more difficult to get the truck to stabilize and stay under control. You can see the rear ends want to kick out a little bit. They also want to try to push and shove as much as they can. It's a factor with these truck series that we've known before, which is if you try to run a looser setup, which these Michigan Truck Series design fix-ups setups are, they're more or less to keep you from losing too much control, but you still want to at least try to keep them as loose as possible and not burn that right rear up, because once that right rear is burnt up, then it becomes more of a handful just to get it to steer an apex around the corner. Think of it like as if you were driving a road course car. You literally have a car that is designed more to steer around the corners, steer around the track, and actually take corners a lot tighter, a lot faster and better. Well, the same thing kind of evolves around to oval racing. If you're not able to get the vehicle in question to stay consistently in that line, in that spot, well, then it just turns into a tank, and it's extremely impossible to turn them. Doesn't seem to be facing anybody though right now in that top 10. Brantley Gainey Jr. is the only one that's back out of it. McKinnon, Mitchell, and Langston away from this field right now as we got a battle here with Pittman now moving up with Durham. Durham on the inside, looking for the shot, looking for the slingshot pass, gets it around the 0-8 yet again here, but again now halfway point reached. Is that enough to start putting this one away? Langston is starting to put these drivers all away here. He is currently about a second ahead of Mitchell and McKinnon. Could he possibly go back-to-back here on Pete Series TV? That is a question that remains to be unknown. But the Venomcast 160 presented by JKay Gaming, man, I'll tell you what, these guys are absolutely putting on a ruckus and putting on a show. To have to do battle and put themselves in this spot and in this position. Guys though around the track here are looking to also try to build some speed back up, try to make themselves noted here. Sam Dunaway in the 67, certainly one of them, as he goes right up with Michael Krall. Now Krall, remember, laps down due to the unfortunate incident that happened down in turn number 3. And I believe it was against one of his Sam Dunaway's teammates here. Might have got him into that position. We do know the 17, Garrett Rainey here, did get thrown into the wall a little bit. Unfortunately, that was due to a little unfortunate situation with Tristan Underwood in the 90. Underwood would be able to get away from that position and get away from that spot and take full control of it. But since then, it's pretty much just been who can strive and who can survive the longest here out of the bunch. Field starting to go from the packs to more of the single file drafts here, the single file train, if you will. Making everybody work their way around and hope for the best here. Well, past that halfway point, we're kind of looking at the overall picture and looking at the overall substance. It seems as though those that are getting more speed are coming from the actual fact that a few of them had left pit road a while back here on lap 17, but it seems as though as well those were on lap 11 aren't really losing too much speed, so 6 laps may not be making too much of a difference. The only thing it seems though it will make a difference is when they have to go into pit road for green flag pit stops if it comes to that. For guys like the insert coins number 22, Brandon Gain Jr., I don't think that's the worst of his troubles. I think his focus is now driven up into the fray. He battles back here off of corner number 4 here, makes a great pass off, and now looking to get there at Zittel and Jan Van Leer. Van Leer dealing with Zittel on his inside. And remember, Zittel was your first winner of this season, of this showcase. After that big win in Daytona, it was the first one of his career. And since then has been absolutely targeting and taking this one into position points. Looking to continue and be bigger and better than anyone else he can be out there. Marching back around the track here yet again. You can see now more movement coming up. Everybody looking for a shot, a little kick in the arm. Zittel will not give up. Jan Van Leer though not doing it either. Just trying to force him to make the move and make the move right. Pit stop drivers coming out of pit road now, and a lot of guys getting put back into position here. Jeff Langston is in pit road getting a full set of tires, so is Carson Mitchell, and now Tristan Underwood in there. So Stephen Durham moving into the race lead as Jan Van Leer tries to get around that 0A who is a lap down. Ryan Pittman coming off of pit road and way off the pace, way off the gas. Jan Van Leer now heading into pit road himself with the 22 of Brandley Gain Jr. right behind him. Whole field now in a hard struggle and a hot battle here for position. So Kyle Zittel now in the 53 taking the lead over for a little time or two. We'll see if maybe that comes to help him out as Pascal Samar now moving his way into position. Every one of these drivers, man, they are putting on the boots and putting on a ruckus, just trying to hang in there. But at the same time, there's so much playing field and so much going on. They really need to tempo and pace themselves more as we go. There's still a lot of laps left, and they know it. That's why they've always said before, and they'll say it again. They really try to keep a close eye on the track and keep a close eye out on performance when they can. Really set themselves up and really get toned in with the late half here. Although for Pascal, that's not going to be the case here. That is going to cost him big time. And now he's got even more problems. Got to get out of that grass plains there. Josh Maxwell will move the 8 into the top spot now. He gives the hard charger, tied with Greg Roberts with 19 spots up apiece. And Langston, by the way, has already been in pit road and come on out. So Maxwell, once he goes in, he's going to have a lot of company on his end. Mitchell trying to catch up there with Langston here, though, looking to hang on. He says it once, he'll say it again. He's got to keep him honest. Oh, he'll keep him honest, all right. He's going to keep him very, very honest here. Lap 52 of 80 now, putting up on the track as the field still striving and trying to see where they can come from here. Maxwell looks like he hasn't been in pit road yet either, so he still has some time here. Langston already getting away here from Mitchell and using the advantage that is Michigan International Speedway's road run here. This is where things get extremely difficult here as a driver. You got to find a way to all of a sudden have to change strategies from going from pack racing to having to kind of mix and throttle your way around the track and hope for a little bit of luck or a little bit of help. It gets very, very difficult and tight, really, because the fact you're also having to fight off a bunch of guys in certain locations, certain areas, and it's a handful out here, man. That's one of the things we talk about constantly. You can't give in, you can't give out, because you'll give yourself up a lot of chances here and a lot of openings if you do so. John Kay in the 2 did that earlier, smacked the wall really hard. Unfortunately, has been kind of put back into the pack here since then. David Fay in the 88 moving his way up there with Tristan Underwood right behind him. The field continues to move up the chains and move into the brackets. You know, Michigan International Speedway, kind of a mixed bag when it comes to racing. We've always talked about how difficult it is to make passes here with that 550 horsepower package, but you know, I think one thing we keep forgetting too is that this track has kind of a mix of flight track style racing and then all of a sudden going into complete full-on just pit stop strategy and race strategy here for the later half, and using your tires and where you take them from and where you use them at. This is certainly the latter of the two right now. Jeff Langston has got the race lead. Speaking of pit stop strategy, let's take a look at our pit stop link here. Our stint link shows us all we need to know. And right here, take a look at this. Stint link here for Langston and most of the other guys, about a 36, 38s, 37s for some. Mainly sticking around in that time limit, that time gap here. So it appears really they're using the bare minimum that they absolutely have to, while also giving themselves just a little bit of breathing room down on the track for the long haul. And again, we talk about it again. We talk about it constantly. If you need to set the truck up for that one little extra lap or two, that usually makes the difference and could be the benefactor to winning or losing a race out. If a caution throws though, and then you have to go into a green-white checkered, then it becomes a shootout there to see who can outsmart the other. But most of the time, it really boils down to fuel and how bad you scorch those tires. That's why a lot of guys right now are being very cautious and very, very patient here. Salamone ahead here of Green Jr. here as the number 22 tries to get back into this fight, back into this fray. Ryan Pittman now engaged here with Salamone. The rest of the field coming up right behind him. The 12 of Jeremy McKinnon also having some company up ahead, looking for the slingshot pass. Again, these trucks, they can draft well and they have great timing and great control, but again, when you're trying to dive it in so low and make that run, it gets extremely difficult to hang in and really peak the speeds. You're trying to, it's almost like literally right there, you see even that little bump there by the 99 of Salamone. You can just see it's hard to really get that extra level because when you only have about 550 horsepower package, again, that's fast for most people on the roads, but when you're driving on a 2-mile long oval and you're pretty much nearly full throttle on this entire track, it gets a bit difficult to say the least here, just trying to make passes. That's why we always said when you're off throttle and you're off pace, then you can start to really see just how crazy it can get. Venomcast saying, great broadcast, guys. We really appreciate you there, Venomcat. If folks, and if you are new to the show and you've never been on a Speed Series TV, yeah, we usually are going live on Facebook, but we do go live on YouTube from time to time, and also we have actual broadcasts on our YouTube mostly, so don't know if this will be turning into a full-time deal because Facebook seems to be pretty mad at us right now. So, but nevertheless, we do appreciate your support and hope you can subscribe here for more great content, more action on the show. Really, certainly do appreciate you. Back straightaway right now here, moving up the chains, moving up the field. Everybody hanging on. It's a matter of timing and pace now. Who can get the most out of which here? As the sun starts to fade on certain ends of the track, you can see the night sky starting to become a factor here. When that sun goes down, then the track cool down a little bit, making it a little bit harder to burn tires up. And that tires, once it starts to get a little bit more of a grip, a little bit more of a surface, and it doesn't burn in as much, it becomes more of a stranglehold on for guys like Langston and them to start taking full control and advantage. The Rotella, number 21, is currently, or the Rotella, is that how you say Rotella? Yeah, Rotella, excuse me. The Rotella, number 22, F-150, number 21, is still just completely hammering away and taking this lead away from everybody. Jeremy McKinnon now kind of crossed up a little bit in that 22 as you see him diving in and dashing up there with a few of these boys. Cross-eyed from one camera to the other end here. Salamoni in the 99 got the bottom lane from him and took full control. And just now looking to just keep his way in the round. Greg Robertson, number 3, also trying to hang in there. Now working with the teammate here of Sam Dunaway. Roberts kind of the surprise to me, honestly. He goes 9 spots up, but really was kind of expecting a little bit more out of that number 3 truck here because it seemed like in practice he had speed. Granted, it may have been only a short run or a short burst, but I thought honestly he had a little bit more speed than this. I am kind of surprised that it's not all the way there, or it's not really making up the same control, the same kind of speed here. May have been just a miscommunication from his pit crew and his team here, but again, 9 spots up. Again, qualifying time was definitely not what he was hoping for. That kind of all boils down to how tough this track is to race here. You just have so many obstacles in your way, so many things going through your mind. And you know, earlier on, you saw the cautions actually kind of slowing these guys up a bit, forcing them to make drastic decisions and hoping that it'll work out long term. But you know, I've always said in motorsports, there is always good and bad of racing. The good is when it gets good, it's really good, and it's something that's spectacular to watch. That doesn't need no gimmicks, doesn't need no little fun show. And then it's just drivers going back and forth with one another in a mono-e-mono classic on all different types of forms of racing. And then the bad of it is, well, unfortunately, kind of what the drivers and myself personally deal with, which is the fatigue and the struggle to figure out why we can't get a car to do, or a truck to do what we want and do what we need, all because of many factors, being airflow around the track, the way the track holds up, the way the speeds go, the way the field is. There's so many variables and so many levels you have to watch out for, and so many things to mainly keep your close eye on, keep your nose and mouth clear of, and really try to stand up on the shark when you can. The top 10 right now still working their way around the track, held in up positions, trying to get up with that number 21 of Jeff Langston though. And he's already passed up the number 8 of Josh Maxwell. Remember, Maxwell earlier on actually had lapped him. Not lapped him, excuse me, passed him for the race lead. Almost put him a lap down. Then he makes the full-on send-off back at it. Pittman right now keeping up ahead of Jan Van Leer here in the number 5. Jeremy McKinnon, JKay further ahead of one another. David Fay and JKay though are still pretty close together. And David Fay, by the way, for his team is the only driver that really has any shot or any chance to kind of keep up with the pace, trying to keep up with distance here and maybe make something work around that number 2. JKay's not exactly out of the woods yet. And the Fago, number 2 now dealing with company back behind him. Fay had to drive it down up on the outside again, looking for the slingshot pass. If you don't time that shot just right, that's the problem you deal with. You're literally having to burn tires up just to go for the slide job. And the crossover just will not continue and maintain distance. And you can see again, that speed and that dilemma you're facing up against is so tremendous. And again, we don't know what the next gen Cup car will even do here when that time comes. I honestly believe we've seen it a couple times here on this track, and it has improved with how the racing look, but how to look in real life, that remains to be unknown. But this is literally the ultimate chess and the ultimate challenge that you face when you kind of run off a place like this. You have to find a way around some tight angles, some tight shots, and some tough corners to really push up against. And right now, it looks like to me it's not just a matter of also that speed limitation, but also a bit of dirty air. The rear deflectors and the spoilers back and the diffusers are not pushing enough of that current flow around the back trap of the spoilers on the truck. It's actually kind of slowing them down. Think of it like literally as an anchor, an invisible anchor that's attached that to the 88. And right as you just all of a sudden start to get a little bit of speed and get a little bit more momentum, it's almost as a glitchcraft gremlin just throws the anchor overboard and says, "Nope, not today." Speaking of not today, Will Salamone here now, and the 99 going to deal with Gainey Jr. one more time by as they come up on the edges of McKinnon. Or excuse me, Kyle Zittel, excuse me. McKinnon back in the nice spot. I kind of confused Zittel and McKinnon there. I apologize up front. Both drivers continuously diving in, looking for a shot or two, but again, it's just that whole draft move here. You can only get so much speed out of those corners. Down below in the mix-up now, Gainey Jr. dealt with Salamone. Now is going to deal with Zittel. And this is the best performance we've seen out of Zittel so far. Trying to hang from his Daytona race win he got earlier this season, literally at the very beginning of it all. And he's showing you on these big tracks, he can play at the big time with these boys, and he can make some work with them. Oh, but can he make it work from that angle? Yellow flag is out, and a huge hit on the quick trip 53 in turn number 3. Oh! And an even worse hit there. JKay slamming the number 2 right in the mix. The 53 boat drivers are done with this one. Oh my goodness, a huge hit there on the driver's end, unfortunately. But this right here just shows you how tight it gets sometimes. You're literally having to side draft as much as you can, and that little slip up, you can see the truck just slipped up enough. It got Zittel. Zittel couldn't keep the speed up. And actually pulled it down as JKay was trying to get around. Same with McKinnon there. JKay had nowhere to go when that came up here, and he knew it too. We'll go with his onboard camera here to show you what happened with the go number 2. Wow. It's a huge hit there and a huge troublesome little spot. That's just how crazy racing can change on a dime like that there for you fans at home to see. And look at how many laps we have left too. Langston's lead now just got completely thrown out the window. It is lap time and his gas price, his gas mileage and all that getting thrown out as well. He knows he's in trouble, but the rest of the field has to go into pit road as well, so that will give him one chance at this here. Well, Langston, the good news for him is because of his pit strategy here, he'll have a chance as he took all 4 tires and fuel and managed to stay up ahead of the lead lap. So that gives him a chance now to walk away with the win. But with that in mind, he knows he's got a lot at stake and a lot and troublesome positions here to deal with. These guys are going to push him to his limits and push him to his full potential here. You can see the 55 here also still laps down. Paul Ellison, Eric Breeding, Ronnie Roberts, Garrett Rainey. The only one that is sort of not a full lap down that could use a little help here would be Jeremy McKinnon and Josh Maxwell. Both drivers are going in out of pit road now, so they'll stay on the lead lap. But same can be said for Pascal Simard Pace here or Corey Rutherford. Both drivers way out of the track, and now it looks like this one might end up being their failure here. Well, race fans, we may be witnessing a little bit of a classic ending to this one. With 5 laps to go, there's no holding back now. The only way to get around Langston, though, without a doubt, get that draft off him when he goes off the line. Try to hang him there. Don't let him get ahead too much on the whole shot. Keep the speeds up. Keep those RPMs flowing. The higher the RPMs and the more consistent they are, the better the speed will carry from the engine to the tires down below your feet. This is what it's all about, and this is what's going to bring them to the wire. Coming down the end, top 5 on your screen. Final 5 laps to go. Green flag is out. We're back at it one more time for the Venomcast 160 presented by JKay Gaming. Well, I said you can't let Langston get ahead too soon. They let him get ahead. Now they're going to have to chase him down in the backstretch. They got to get lined up and get him set. He knows he's already in trouble. He's trying to move around the track. You can see him already swinging it in the middle. He's trying to avoid the draft and trying to avoid the line for these boys to catch him. Mitchell trying to hang in there, but Durham's making it a lot more difficult for him than he realizes. The 0-8 to Pittman also kind of mixing it up a little bit as they field him back on out of turn 3 and 4. Onto the front straightaway here. Now the draft starting to phase for Mitchell. Mitchell starting to get a clip. Looking for the slingshot. He's got a run coming into turn 1 now, firing down turn number 2. Company down below. Pittman and Durham into the mix, into the fold. Coming off down out of that back straightaway here. Every driver for themselves, everybody for their position. Mitchell trying to get up to Pittman. Langston as well, dealing with company behind. trying to stay ahead of Pittman. Jan Van Leer dealing with Salamoni right behind the mix in the fray. Miller draft line here, settle him up. Mitchell on the draft looking for the slingshot. He's got a full look at that rear end spoiler of Langston. Langston continues to throw it back at him, defends the bottom. Oh, but he didn't defend it enough though. Here comes Mitchell. Straight to the inside. The pass making for the back straightaway. Langston's in trouble. Mitchell has a fourth set of tire, and that I Barker machine is trying to hang in there. The Rotella, number 21, trying to get one more corner off. He's going to try to cross him over. No! Gets blocked. Mitchell defends the line, but the back straightaway now is giving draft up to Langston as Mitchell tries to hold on. It would have been by a tire there for that one if they finished it to the end. Oh, now look at this. Here comes Pittman. Here comes Durham right behind him. Jan Van Leer waiting for any of these four drivers to make a mistake. Langston's eyed up the corner. It's a side-by-side duel here as Langston tries to defend this race win. Trying to go back-to-back. Mitchell trying to get his first one of the season. Jan Van Leer trying to get that race win. He's been looking for so long. And trouble in yellow flag. We got problems entering out turn 3 yet again. And once again, the yellow flag will come out at maybe the most inopportune of times here. We're going into a 1 of 3 green-white checkered attempts here in my mind. This one came down to the wire there, to say the least. It got a little wild there, and it got even more crazy coming to the end. Jan Van Leer just barely clipping the 08. The 08 was a little bit loose entering in the turn. Durham, I want to talk about nice saves. What a save there by that 87, man. He had to hold that thing on line and on target. One more look at it. See, he was already steering that thing in. That is great expertise and timing of his end. He did lose position, obviously, but man, did he sure get himself a chance at firing back at it. It looks like he's going to go for all 4 sets of tires. He's going to try a strategy here. He knows his tires aren't going to be enough to get back into the front, so what he's going to try to do, he's going to try to get all 4 sets. He's going to then go for a full throttle assault and hope that he's got enough speed and enough time that in between these laps these guys have burnt up on tires for him to make a move and make a charge up ahead of it. But Carson Mitchell, the number 4 driver, has now got the race lead and possibly could lock this one up. As long as he stays focused to the bottom and then the top where he has to, he just needs to stay out of the draft line and out of the zone, and he'll win his first one of the season. But Jan Van Leer is still searching for that one after so long. Has yet to accomplish it yet here, and what could he do it for his first ever win being on the showcase of PTM Racing TV? All that will be figured out here in just a little bit. One more time by race fans here. We will set our drivers back into position. The Venom Truck Series have got this one needing to be cleared and finished out. We were so close to reaching the white flag that time by, but unfortunately the circumstances were not quite evident other than just that little hit there you saw. Now comes the full-on last send-off here for these drivers. They know what they have at stake. They know what they need to do. Stephen Durham there, the man that went in for 4 tires, is right now in the 13th spot. He's going to have to try to muscle a few of these guys He's going to have a lot of work to do to get through these corners and get through the speed. It's going to be a trap for him, but it could be enough to hold on. Well, the time has come. We have one of 3 green-white checkers at stake for these boys. Will they use all 3 of them up? We're about to find out. Green flag back out. Lights are on. We're underway. Carson Mitchell, great start out of the gate. Looking to hang on. Langston, though, looking to do the same move Mitchell did to him earlier. Mitchell, though, goes with Langston on him. Goes to the bottom. Blocks the run. He's going to try to block that move off on the outside, but the pass can still be made. Mitchell going deep, deep down inside, trying to hang on. The rest of your field getting mixed in between there. We lead him down to the white flag, this time by off of turn number 4. By a tire yet again. That would have been Langston. This time, he's got the run. Mitchell trying to hang in. They are dead even off of turn 1 and 2. It's a side draft battle, position drag race them down the back straightaway. What will the drivers do? Will they end up going to one driver or the other, or will they try to play the middle line? Langston's got a bit of a speed boost there on the outside. Mitchell will try to defend him. One more time they fire him off on corner number 3, down turn number 4. It's a drag race to the end. Langston a little bit off the pace. Mitchell with enough speed. Can he hold it down? He does by a tire length right to the finish. Mitchell will hold on to Langston at a side-by-side finish straight to the line. What a race. Carson Mitchell with an absolutely amazing performance to the end. The slingshot before the caution, taking down Langston, and Langston trying to pull a move on him there as well. Could not get it to go, though, unfortunately, and loses this race out here at Michigan International Speedway. But the Venomcast 160 belongs to Carson Mitchell, his first race win of the season, and by far maybe one of the biggest wins of his career, taking down Langston at a fever pitch final conclusion. And it's time for a little celebration around these parts of town. I think he's happy down there, folks. It's time to take a look at your PTM Racing TV results presented by JKay Gaming. Look at this. 4/10,000ths of a second to the line. Langston beat out by Mitchell. Absolutely, that is literally jaw-dropping drag racing, conclusive racing right there, my friends. Brantley Gainey Jr. comes away 3rd. Jan Van Leer goes 4th. Ryan Pittman going 5th. Willis Salamone goes 6th. 7th to Tristan Underwood. David Fay goes 8th. Greg Roberts 9th. 10th to Kyle Dumig to round out your top 10 in this one. The rest of your field and position finisher is now on your screen here, and we will talk with the top 5 drivers this time around. This will make up for earlier, as well as you fans at home. So we'll talk with Pittman, Jan Van Leer, Brantley Gainey Jr., Langston, and Mitchell in this little group here. So that will be our rounded out top 5. It's time to take a listen in and have a talk with these boys here. So joining me now, real quick, race fan, top 5 finishers on the board. Your 5th place finisher today, Ryan Pittman, in that 08 joins me now here on the show. And Ryan, congratulations on a 5th place finish here. Not quite a podium position for you and the crew, but still a top 5 here on a track like this. I mean, gotta believe it definitely gets the confidence going just a little bit.
Yeah, not too bad for a short track guy, I guess. Still trying to get a hang of these trucks, but had a lot of fun.
Had a lot of fun and hanging on there with from a short track to a big track. What was the difference there for you to have to work around today, or Pittman?
Well, it's just trying to work the air a little bit and trying to figure out when to save tires. Of course, that applies to short track as well. But yeah, just trying to catch the draft, trying to catch the guys at the perfect time, and try to strategically make their move.
So strategically wise, I mean, I gotta say probably more than anything that a lot of it had to kind of bolster down to kind of controlling the narrative on the pit stalls and all them too, I would presume.
Yeah, pit stalls were certainly something that I'm not used to a whole lot of. So getting used to that, trying to get a hang of that, and where to find your pit box and getting down the pit road during green stops was pretty big. But it was fun. Looking forward to having some more. And yeah.
Absolutely. Well, nevertheless, though, Pittman, you come away top 5 today, and an absolutely big end finish to this crew here, my friend. I mean, who do you want to thank you for all this?
Just everybody in the lobby, everybody in the top 10, top 5, everybody raced really, really well. I think I might have got into somebody right there on one of the last laps or somebody. We were all 4 or 5, like within a 10-foot radius. It was crazy, but had a lot of fun. Everybody out here raced clean, raced with respect, which is what I like, and certainly look forward to having more.
Well, we certainly love to see more of it here. Ryan, congratulations on this 5th place finish, and we'll catch you next time out, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Pittman piloting in the 08 to the top 5. Joining me now, race fans, here will be, of course, our next finisher out of the bunch here. I believe we have on the roster here Brantley Gain Jr. as well. We're listening for Jan Van Leer real quick here. We'll see if he comes in. We'll give him a quick second. If he's not in about, I'd say, give him like about a minute here. Well, then we'll go ahead and just kind of move on to the next. But Jan, whenever you get in here, congratulations on your 4th place finish here, and what a performance by him and the crew here, as we are about ready to talk with our top 3 now here on the show. So as we wait for Jan Van Leer, we'll head off and talk with the other drivers here in our 3rd place spot today here, piloting in the Toyota Tundra camp. Give it up for Brantley Gain Jr. in this number 22 machine. Brantley, what a fight and a half here you had to go through, and you had to certainly deal with some extra company there coming to the end. You had some company with Pittman, Jan Van Leer, and even Salamoni giving you some troubles there.
Oh yeah, man. I think we started 17th, and we had a real hard run to get up front. I hate what happened between me and Zittel. I think we got together a little bit, brought out that caution at 72. But man, strong run. I'm super excited to be a part of this team, and this is the best finish yet. So more to come.
Best finish yet on a bigger track too, of cool things, and we've gone from the big Daytona to the 2 short tracks of Dover and Iowa. I mean, what was it like here when you kind of had to maneuver around here with positions here at Michigan?
Oh man, when you're in the dirty air, whenever you're behind other trucks, it just takes all the downforce off the front, and it just wants to slide up the track on you. So you're just throttling the pedal, trying to hold on to what you can, 4-wheel sliding it through the turns, and sometimes you make it out the other end. Sometimes you put somebody in the wall.
You certainly do indeed, but nevertheless here, keeping yourself out of the wall and at least trying to put up a fight to the end here. I got a feeling this will definitely help out your cause here for the later parts of these seasons. So as you come away 3rd today, though, my friend, I mean, who do you want to thank here for this one?
Man, I got to give all of the thanks out to Jan. Jan's a great teammate. He raced me clean at the end there, didn't push it too hard, and we're both able to come out with a top 5.
Indeed. Well, Brantley Gainey Jr., we appreciate you coming on board here today. Congratulations on this 3rd place finish, and we'll certainly see you next time out, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brantley Gainey Jr. here coming away here as a 3rd place finisher today. Jan Van Leer, though, has now joined us here on the call. Ladies and gentlemen, here he joins me here in pit road. And Jan, as soon as you hopped out of that truck, you literally looked at me and said, give me like 2 minutes to catch my breath. I'm already sweating pretty bad in this thing. But I've got a feeling you probably are little tense there from the close corners you had to deal with on everybody today.
Yeah, totally. It was a action-packed race. Definitely had to catch my breath there at the end.
Yeah, I had to catch your breath and find yourself in a very troublesome little spots here or there. But I mean, for this crew and this performance here in this track, I mean, did you really think that this was going to be a top 5, top 3 performance here for you in this team?
I was hoping so. We were fast all week in practice, and goal was really more like top 10, but top 5 would be awesome. So I'd say that's pretty awesome.
Certainly is indeed here. Well, nevertheless, though, as you come away today as a 4th place finisher, Jan, I got to ask you, sir, what do you want to thank for all this?
Thank the team, thank the league, thank you for putting it on the broadcast and everyone watching. It's a lot of fun out there, and definitely thanks to OxyClean and the memory of Billy Mays.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Jan, as you come away today, 4th place, congratulations on that, sir. And we'll catch you guys next time out on this one here, too.
Thanks, Christian.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Jan Van Leer in the number 5 coming away in a 4th place spot today. A good showing from him. But, ladies and gentlemen, now the time has come to talk with the 2 heavy hitters that put the show up for grabs and on a whole different level here in Michigan. Jeff Langston is your 2nd place finisher today by a mere 0.04 of a second. Langston, hearing those numbers, I have got a feeling you are just as surprised as anything, but you almost going away here today with a back-to-back race series win here from the battles you had at Iowa. I got a feeling, though, you were definitely proud of this team until that caution kind of just threw everything out of the wire.
Oh, yeah. And how about that entertaining race? You can't get any better than that right there. Good Lord. That was so much fun racing Carson those last few laps. That was an absolute blast.
It was absolutely fun and crazy to say the least. Coming to that line, coming to that wire, we've seen close corners of literally 1/10,000th of a second finishes before, but a 4,000th of a second finish here doesn't come too often. And I have a feeling for you and this crew here, this was kind of the way you wanted to end it out here, besides just obviously being another points day and a big position for you and the crew.
Absolutely. I needed it after those first 2 races. I just had some bad luck there. And yes, last two weeks have made up for some of that. And very happy after tonight. Very happy.
Absolutely. Well, as it makes up for today and comes up with a performance here on the show, I must ask you, sir, who do you want to thank for all this?
I want to thank Mr. Carson Mitchell for racing me clean and letting us put on a hell of a show. That was fun.
It was fun to call. It was awesome to see. Langston, congratulations on a 2nd place finish. We'll catch you next time out, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Langston, the number 21, will come away 2nd as the man of the hour, the man today with the power at hand. His name is Carson Mitchell, and the number 4, Carson. Let's just kind of briefly go back to this one for a second. You, on the second to last caution, you had to get settled back in. You knew you had a truck ready to go for Langston, ready to go for everyone else back there. You take all 4 tires, and then came time for the big move. You deal with the 0-8 of Pittman for a minute. You had to get around Jan Van Leer as well. And then came time you had to go to Langston, and you fired off on the back stretch with the slingshot maneuver, throwing it down low and then on the outside again to block him. I mean, I got a feeling you were literally having to muscle and throttle every ounce of that truck just to hang on to that first part.
Absolutely. It was really difficult to drive, and I knew Jeff was going to race me clean. He's never anyone I've had issues with, and I knew it was going to be a fun battle all the way to the end.
A fun battle indeed, and then comes the big moment, of course, here as you literally put this fight up right at the end of the line, the end of the show. 4/10,000th of a, or 4,000th of a second, excuse me. I'm gonna ask you this: what are your thoughts on that? Because that's absolutely insane to us.
I knew Jeff had the better run on the outside, so I knew I had to do whatever I could to try and put as much throttle as I could through 3 and 4. So I ran a line higher than I was running before to try and move him up just a little bit out of the grip, and he still got the run off 4, and it was just I just held on just barely. I had to hit him just a little bit coming to the line. So it was really intense, really fun. It was a hell of a race all the way through.
It certainly was indeed, and I can definitely tell you're a little bit starstruck still and kind of reeling from that one. So I guess we'll end this one out with you talking to your fans, talking to your friends, let them know what you think because you got some people I know you want to thank out here today.
Well, one thing I want to say is I want to apologize to Garrett Rainey and the 90 of Tristan Underwood about that incident that happened earlier in the race. It could have been avoided, and I hated ruining Garrett's race. And I really hope he's able to bounce back next week because I hate to see something like that happen to somebody I love racing against.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, though, I got a feeling all will be accepted and fate eventually will have to come around here. But nevertheless, Mitchell, man, as you come away today, your race winner in Michigan in the Venomcast 160, congratulations on that. And we'll see you next time out here, buddy.
Thank you, Christian.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the number 4, Carson Mitchell, comes away with the race win to end out this one. What a performance by all involved and a finish unlike any other. That's why you got to stay tuned with us here on Pete Race TV. Thank you so much for everyone that tuned into the show today. We thank and appreciate you for your support. And we'll catch you guys next time when the green flag flies on Pete Race TV.